Welcome friends, Homemaking with Mima here. I'm going to bring you along, that's why I'm saying we are going to go through this upright freezer together. I need to go through and see what just needs to be used up. We're pretty good at keeping up on certain things, but there's also things that get lost or get pushed aside, or there's only one thing, or I got to kind of make a mental note of it, and I'm going to bring you along with me. I was in my upright freezer downstairs, and I was just actually getting some bread. And I noticed that there's a lot of things in there that I just need to use up. And one of the things is these chicken thighs. They've been in there a while. They've been opened up. Let me see if I can open them up here. They definitely need to be cooked up. I don't want to lose them to freezer burn. It looks like it's just barely starting. So I'm going to put them in the Instant Pot and cook them that way. And yeah, so that's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to pick the meat off of them, and then I can just freeze up the cooked meat. Then I won't lose anything. And then I will save the bones and the skin for future broth as well. I've got a bag going down there for future chicken broths. That is what I'm going to do. And I looked it up for the frozen bone-in chicken thighs. 15 to 20 minutes on high, it said. So we'll go with that with 1 cup of water. So let's get a view of what it looks like right now. Not bad, actually. So try to keep that open. So here's the door. Not bad. These last 3 I try to leave for my daughter. Sometimes I take over hers and sometimes she takes over mine. And then here is the inside part. This whole shelf right here is for my daughter. Those are her things, so I don't have to worry about anything in there. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. But let me bring you to my other freezers. All right, I opened them up. One thing I have to push on my family, especially my husband and I, we're more of the fish eaters than my youngest daughter that lives with us, is this fish. We have a lot of this walleye. And it was something that my husband had purchased from some establishment or whatever, and they only sell it once a year. But we do have to eat. We do have to eat through this, and we're not. This is more of the overflow as far as things that I want to can. The fish, overflow bacon, lard that I have not rendered yet. That is a project I want to do someday. I just haven't gotten to it. I think there's bones in here for making stock, that sort of thing. Beef brisket. So that's kind of what's in this one. Nothing that we really need to eat right now. Nothing that we need to turn to other than the fish. We've got to eat some more fish. Coming over to this freezer here. Let me get you a side view here because the light is so it makes a shadow. This is one that's got our 2026 half a beef and half a pork. I mean, there's some in that other freezer as well. This is the main stuff, like chops, ribs, the newer ribs, roasts. Down at the bottom is the ground beef. And then we have a little overflow of the sausage that we had gotten, that sort of thing. We have been eating some of this stuff. We've eaten quite a few packages of the pork chops. We've eaten a couple roasts. I have pulled out some burger to refill in the upright freezer. But I need to go through and see what's in this upright freezer and kind of make a mental note. It is summer, so it's really hard. In the summer, what do you mostly eat? Things that you either barbecue, like hamburgers, hot dogs, which we have eaten a lot of. Ribs. We haven't really eaten any ribs at all yet. But that is an idea right there, because I do have ribs from last year still. but you know where I'm going with it. All right, so I need to start pulling everything out of that upright freezer. Okay, I'll go through this first and put aside what needs to be prioritized. And I'm going to bring it upstairs and I'm going to try and get it fit into my upright freezer. We'll see. All right, friends. I'm going to move some stuff around too as well. This is the newer bacon, so I'm going to try and get that into this freezer that's behind you. Just to make room, because I have corn from last year and I have a lot of projects in here as well. Like I have pork scraps for pork broth, beef scraps for beef broth, chicken scraps for chicken broth. I can say that easier. So, and what these are, I'm tucking them behind the corn from this last year, are the beef and pork scraps. I know there's chicken around here somewhere. I'm gonna look for that. Okay. What I did was the scraps that I had, I believe for chicken, I've already cooked down into a broth, and I usually put them in these containers that I reuse. What I did find is I do have enough broth. I have this for beef drippings, a couple other beef drippings, and some scraps of pre-cooked roast bones, that sort of thing. I have enough here to make a batch with my Presto electric canner. So I am taking that out, but I am going to set it down over here. Okay, so I'm going to just keep going through this stuff. And we'll talk about it in a little bit. How's that? All right, I'm going to go through some of this before I put it back. These are things that I need to use up. This is the cranberry. When I can cranberries, the cranberries are in the jar, and then I strain them out and we drink the juice. Well, instead of getting rid of the cranberry berries, I don't have chickens or pigs to feed any of that to. And my birds in the area, they just don't care for it. So what I did was I pulverized it. I put it in the food processor / I think I did the blender, my mini blender. So I can use these for either smoothies or inside like sweetbreads. So that's why I have so many of these. And I believe I did them, I want to say a cup. And then I chopped up some ham for myself for lunches. So then I can just eat that, kind of like deviled ham, okay, if anyone's ever had that. I have some meatballs that I made for me or my family. There's leftover spaghetti sauce with meat right here. Plenty of taco meat. There's taco meat here that needs to get eaten up. Some sloppy Joe meat as well. Some more taco meat that I recently cooked. Some pork pieces from, I don't remember what this was from. It was from something. And more taco meat. And I have a chicken soup here. It's from May. It's just a little too hot right now to be eating chicken soup. So it's kind of a backup. This is, I've got Mom on it. Future kebabs that I want to cook on the grill. It's just it's marinated beef stew meat with Italian dressing. That's it. And then pre-made hamburgers that I have made. And you've seen me do those before. So then all we have, because we get our own burger. If you didn't know that, I said we get a half a cow. We got a half a cow and a half a pork this year. We do get our own burger from that. And I do make up ahead of time burger patties, especially in the summer. So all this is going to go back into the refrigerator. I just needed to go through it and see what needed to be pulled out. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. All right, so this is going to be what I bring upstairs. My project of doing beef stock. I'm not in need of it, but you know what? I'm just going to cycle through this and get it on the shelf, shelf stable. I have one lonely bag of cranberries. I'm going to do a little session. I'll probably only get 3 quart jars out of this, but you know what? I want to get it out of my freezer. These strawberries are from last year in July, and they're starting to, you can see the ice crystals. We need to eat these up, and it is double bagged. I have some chicken that needs to get eaten up here. I was going to can it, but instead, and they're chicken tenders. Instead, we can, I don't know if you can see them very good. The lighting is very poor. Chicken tenders anyway. They're going to get eaten up. I'm going to bring them upstairs and put them in the freezer upstairs. There's a kielbasa. I'm going to put that in the freezer. That I've had in there for a while. I know that. I have some more tortillas. So a theme here could be some chicken with tortillas, maybe some peppers in that, like a fajita. These will get eaten up right away. These are bagels. I usually split them because all of us are on different diets. Sometimes we feel like eating a little bit of bread. Sometimes we don't. So what I do is I divide a package. This was leftover spaghetti from a meal that we had, spaghetti with meat sauce. That's probably enough. Well, it'd be 1 meal for my husband, probably 2 meals for me. So I'm going to put that in the freezer upstairs. And I'm going to put this thing of sloppy Joe. We can have that. Also, it'd be a quick meal for this July. And it was done in April. So we'll get that eaten up. So there it is. Now the strawberries, I do have angel food cake. And I did take some of these out already. We've got angel food cake up there right now. So these will get eaten up, but I'm going to put them in the freezer. All right, so that is going to wrap that up, I believe. Friends, that's going to wrap this video up. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And in the description box below, I am going to put 2 different playlists. I'm going to put my cooking playlist and I'm going to put my canning playlist if you're interested in viewing either one of those playlists. And because you know I'm going to be doing some canning and I always do a lot of cooking, so you can just browse through there and see what might interest you. And if you folks like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel, give the videos a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and that will prompt you to new videos that are coming out. And I want you to make it a really great day.